reprocessing facilities by scrapping the agreed framework in the name of punishing North Korea for the alleged HEU program. The presence of the HEU program fully confirmed and was only at the laboratory level if it existed. Even if it existed. In the end, North Korea's first nuclear test in 2006 was conducted with plutonium reprocessing, not with the HEU program. If the Bush administration had maintained the agreed framework while dealing with HEU issue via separate talks, it would have prevented or at least delayed North Korea's first nuclear test. During the second North Korean nuclear crisis, Bush administration reached an agreement through the six-party talks in 2005 and 2007. The sight of North Korea blowing up the cooling tower was globally broadcasted in 2008, and the country turned in its administration. However, Bush administration demanded North Korea far-reaching verification plan for special inspection. It was ahead of the step agreed upon at the six-party talks, and North Korea refused to comply with that demand. The existing agreements fell apart. The Bush administration coined the term CBID, and Trump administration also used CBID or FFBD, or final and fully verifiable denuclearization. CBID is an end state. However, John Bolton, National Security Advisor in the Trump administration, demanded CBID as a precondition to North Korea, citing Libya matter. Knowing what happened to Libya and its leader Gaddafi, North Korea rejected the model of denuclearization first and years later on multiple occasions. Putting it back on the table was breaking the deal rather than making it. Trump walked out of negotiations with Kim Jong-un at Hanoi summit in 2019, saying that dismantlement of the Yongbyon nuclear site was not enough. We have to fight economic sanctions since other nuclear programs than Yongbyon site included. However, some nuclear scientists see the Yongbyon site part of North Korean nuclear program, accounting for up to 90% of its total nuclear capability. Dr. Zygmunt Tacker, a nuclear scientist at Stanford University, said that even if we had immediately started the nuclearization process, it would take at least 10 years before complete nuclearization. It would have been more pragmatic. The US had lifted those economic sanctions to dismantle the Yongbyon site first, and then moved on to the next phase to address other nuclear programs. Now, I'd like to offer some recommendations. Washington and Seoul's policies toward North Korea should start with the objective assessment of North Korea. As you can see in the screen, the 1999 Perry report said, United States must therefore deal with the North Korean government as it is, not as we might wish it to be. And United States must initiate negotiations with the DPRK based on the concept of mutually reducing threat. From an outsider's perspective, North Korea is a country with many ethical and political flaws. However, it is also a country with a deep-rooted sense of threat, fortified by decades of confrontation and mistrust toward the US. That is why a perfectionist all-or-nothing approach pushes CBID or FFBD as a prerequisite for negotiation is unrealistic and it has also been proven counterproductive to elect North Korea and apply continuous pressure and wait for the regime to collapse, which ended up exacerbating the situation and stopping North Korea's ambition for nuclear and missile development. to increase the chance of successful negotiations. The issue of North Korea's denuclearization should be addressed in parallel with mutually reducing threats and improving relations between the US and North Korea. Negotiations need carrots as well as sticks. Washington and Seoul need to come up with a long-term roadmap for negotiating with Pyongyang and pursue sustained and consistent line of efforts that will not be hampered by shifts in domestic politics in the short run. In the six-party talks in 2005, participating states agreed to implement the deal in a phased manner based on the principle of commitment for commitment, action for action. Washington and Pyongyang must act towards denuclearization and diplomatic normalization in an incremental, simultaneous, and reciprocal manner to overcome their entrenched mutual mistrust. There is a domestic climate within the US that improving relations with North Korea is not something desirable or necessary. That stance ultimately resulted in the advance in North Korea's nuclear capabilities and its deepened reliance on China today. This is in the interest of either the world or the US. Some policymakers or analysts also argue that progress with regard to denuclearization of and peace on the Korean Peninsula, including an annual declaration of improvement of the inter-Korean relations, could reduce footprint of the US troops in South Korea and undermine the ROK-US alliance. That is nothing more than a tunnel vision. The end of the Cold War did not jeopardize status of US forces in Germany and in Japan, as well as the US alliance with the two countries. Kim Dae-jung believed that the presence of the US forces here is necessary, even if the peaceful will be unification of the peninsula for the sake of the peace in the broader region, and I agree with him. The US and Japan improve relations with North Korea. They will gain a greater leverage on North Korea. It can induce desirable changes from the country. With no relations comes no influence. If the US and Japan had established diplomatic relations with North Korea in the early 1990s, when South Korea did with the Soviet Union and China, we may not have North Korean issue today. You can see on the screen, the US agreed on normalizing relations with North Korea on multiple occasions. The US also agreed to end the Korean War, but those agreements fell short of implementation. I do not see a reason the US cannot have ties with North Korea. North Korea also needs to take convincing measures to denuclearize itself to improve its relation with the US and earn recognition as a responsible member of the international community. North Korea should no longer work down the path of isolation and confrontation. It should not give up on the inter-Korean reconciliation, cooperation, as well as normalization of ties with the US. North Korea can replicate the rapid growth China and Vietnam enjoyed in the 1970s and 1990s effectively, once they embraced the idea of improving relations with the US and openness and reforms. In his book, Rage, Bob Woodward wrote an episode about Kim Jong-un. Then Secretary of State Mike Pompeo under the Trump administration asked Kim Jong-un, "The South Koreans told us that you have intent to denuclearize. Is that true?" To that, Kim answered, "I'm a father, and I don't want my kids to carry nuclear weapons on their backs the rest of their lives." Kim has also emphasized that denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula is the dying instruction of his late grandfather Kim Il-sung and his late father Kim Jong-il. Shown on the screen, North Korea agreed with the US on denuclearization on various occasions, but the agreements failed to be followed through. Two Koreas have agreed to work together on denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula, reconciliation and cooperation, and peace and reunification on agents. I believe that the Koreas should try to implement the agreement together for the Korean Peninsula free from threat of a war. The two Koreas should be engaged in talks again. North Korea should go back to the negotiating table with the US, no strings attached. There's a growing call for nuclear armament within South Korea. However, it is dangerous and undesirable for South Korea to lose sight of the ultimate goal of denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula and take its own nuclear arsenals instead. It will sour the ROK-US relations and trigger nuclear arms race in the region. The only viable option for peace on the peninsula, so that in the greater region, is diplomatic negotiations with North Korea, based on a realistic and pragmatic approach. The Korean Peninsula was divided in half by decisions of our relations, regardless of Korean people's own will, and through atrocities of a war, and has since remained divided. The two Koreas have been technically at war for the past 70 years. It is true that the peace zone and the nuclearization of the Korean Peninsula took a step back due to the failed US PRK talks and tensions. However, the Korean Peninsula in Northeast Asia could not be reset confrontation, crisis of war, and nuclear threat and war. All relevant parties need to join a journey in nuclearization of the peace zone in the peninsula. In particular, the US needs to take immediate actions. The Biden administration reaffirmed commitment to complete denuclearization of Korean Peninsula in the context of its forward for within South Korea, and it did so at the US-Japan summit this January as well. At this point in time, it is hard to earn full trust with empty promises not backed by concrete actions. The US should not further defer actions towards the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your patience to review my full English for a long time. Thank you.